Hey guys, Cameron with CarAudioNow again. Today we're going to be taking a first look at Fusion's latest Signature Series 3 subwoofers. This is a 12-inch marine grade subwoofer. It's one of their first 12-inch subwoofers in this lineup of speakers. The Signature Series 3 speakers just were announced this year in February 2021. So this is all brand new stuff for the year. It's part of a larger lineup of speakers with tower speakers, interior speakers. They've also got Signature Series amplifiers, really a full system here. So in this review, we're going to open up the box. I'm going to give you a first look at the subwoofer here, a 360 view, and walk through some of its key features to give you a better understanding of the subwoofer before you buy it. We also did a first look review, an article on our site, CarAudioNow.com. You can click on the link down at the bottom hand side of the video if you want to read up more. But let's open up the product. Let's get the subwoofer on the table to give you guys a good look at it and start walking through some of its features. Okay guys, we've pulled the subwoofer out of the box. Let's start diving into the features of this thing. The first thing you'll notice when you pull this thing out of the box is the dimensions. What I really like to see on a 12-inch subwoofer, the bigger the better for me. When you look at this speaker, it's actually a 14 inches in diameter tip to tip here, and that's partially because the grill is fixed, right? But what I also like to look at when I look at some of these dimensions to give a true sense of the size is the cutout diameter. And what the cutout diameter is, if you don't know what that is really, the inner edge of this speaker, really what you need to cut out when you're building a box for it. And what that kind of gives me a sense of is how wide the casing is, how big of an area they are making for the actual cone. I kind of use it as a proxy to the cone size. It really isn't, a one-to-one because you have the different diameters of the subwoofer surround, etc. But it gives you kind of a good, a good sense of how big and how much space there is and how big the cone is. And this one has about a 12-inch cutout diameter. A lot of the competitors here in the industry right now, if you look at the diameter, the cutout diameter in particular, and even the outer diameter, the subwoofer is actually about an inch wider on both of those. It's got a 12-inch cutout diameter instead of like a traditional 12-inch subwoofer, which typically has around 11 to 11 and a half, etc. You'll get a sense of how really big the subwoofer is. The grill that's on this particular model, we have the black sports grill, the black sports chrome grill. They also have a white chrome, not a white chrome, but a white grill, which doesn't have any of the chrome accents, and it's a white surrounding. If you look at the black, it kind of looks a little bit more like a gunmetal gray. It does match all the other Signature Series 3 black chrome sports grills, though, obviously it matches. On the other side, just kind of working our way down, on the other side of the grill, on the back side, is the LED lighting feature. And all the Signature Series 3 come with the CRGBW LED lighting. That's Fusion's latest LED lighting technology. It's a little bit different than the traditional RGB lighting in that they actually added two new colors. So they added a cool white and a warm white. So what that does, and I did a demo of this in the tower speakers, and you probably see it in the recommended videos at the end here. What it does is you get all the traditional RGB colors on this speaker, but what cool white and the warm white allows you to do is to add whites into all the traditional colors, which gives you new tones. If you add cool white or warm white into a red, you might end up with like a pink, right? But you can do it at different intensities and really create such a more broad, a wider variety of colors, wider than I've seen for this application in the market right now. So it's really cool. Again, if you want to look at that demo, I did a demo of that with the tower speakers. It's pretty cool. Underneath the grill, you've got obviously your 12-inch cone. Well, not 12-inch cone, but the cone. And you right off the bat, it kind of looks like a carbon fiber material. The Signature Series 3 speakers come with a curve. It's called curve technology. That's all the speakers, the tower speakers in the interior. This particular cone is a polypropylene cone. It doesn't have curve technology. I think what they did here with this woven look is really, it's just for aesthetics, to match the rest of the Signature 3 series. Underneath it is a pretty rigid, it's a pretty standard polypropylene cone, and it's good for, you know, UV. It's good for it doesn't corrode, right? It's rigid. It's a good material that there's a lot of subwoofers that use that material. On the surrounding here, it's made of a rubber surround. Rubber's always good to see, you know, it limits cracking. It's just a good material. I always look to make sure that it's not, that it does have a rubber surround of some sort, because in the outdoor environments, when you're on the boat and these things get hammered by the sun year over year, if the surround isn't made from a quality rubber or quality composite material, these things start to crack and you have to get them rebuilt or buy another subwoofer. So it's good to see the rubber surround. So let's flip this thing over a little bit. Start to look at the casing. So, this is kind of where, when you start looking at the other side of these subwoofers, this is kind of where you start to see all the marine grade features, more so than the front, right? If you look at the cone, this is kind of the dead giveaway. You look at the back of the cone here, and it's a smooth surface, so it's not a woven cone through and through. And then you look at the spider here, all the different components in here, these are all very well sealed, and you can run your finger along here and really get a sense of how well they sealed this up. And the material of the spider, it's not like a permeable, paper material. This is really meant for moisture, and it's not gonna wear or get compromised when there's moisture in the air, or if it gets sprayed with water or something like that. So it's good to see, and they did a really good job at sealing it. And you can kind of see on the inside here, this trim really seals the spider and the components to the motor, and everything in this motor area is really sealed. The subwoofer itself is IP65 rated. It's a water resistant subwoofer, as it should be, obviously in this type of environment. And you get a good sense of the back here. Underneath this grill, I'm assuming that this whole motor, enclosure is sealed up. Otherwise, it wouldn't be IP65 rated. But this whole casing is one piece, right? And another good thing to look at. This is actually something that I really like to see. The wires, they sealed up the wires. On the other side here, it's obviously sealed in here. They've got silicone that really seals up all the connections, so that they're not susceptible to corrosion. That's really what it is. And these Dutch plugs aren't cheap, so they didn't really they didn't cheap out on the connections here. These I really like these Dutch connectors. I use them whenever I get a chance to in my boat and in the installs that I do. So I really actually like to see them, and they've got it this is for the CRGBW. So all the LEDs, they also have it for the power, right? The positive, negative. And in the box, they do give you the male. So you basically just connect this into the rest of the harness of the boat, and then you can plug them directly in. So really cool to see. It's just, they had a little bit more attention to detail. I've seen actually high quality subwoofers with just the standard terminals, which, I get disappointed because those are really a point of corrosion here. So it's nice to see these. And obviously on the outer part here, you've got like a rubber seal, which is always good to see. So you forgot to mention here, this subwoofer is actually pretty high power. It's one of the higher power ones I've seen for a marine purpose, right? It's a 1400 watt peak. Look at my notes here. It's a 700 watt RMS. So, they recommend anything between 200 and 1,000. But you know, the point being, you're going to need a big monoblock or a big amplifier to power this thing. So make sure, you know, if you get this subwoofer to power it properly, otherwise, you know, like any speaker, you know, you're really not going to get the full potential out of it. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. If you want to read up on the review, again, we'll add another link here at the end of the video for you to go to CarAudioNow and read up on the first look review with pictures and everything about this subwoofer. Hope to see you guys next time. Thanks.